Today, I'm going to turn this into the most delicious seasoned breadcrumbs that you've ever had. I'll show you how fast and easy it is to whip up next. The things you're going to need to make these seasoned breadcrumbs are some garlic powder. Now I'm almost out of garlic powder here, so in the future you'll be getting a video on how I make this. You're also going to need some Italian seasoning. And this blend just happens to have thyme, oregano, marjoram, basil, rosemary, and sage. You're going to need some dried parsley flakes, some salt, also some Parmesan cheese, and for this recipe I like to use the grated stuff from Kraft. And finally, leftover bread. Because there's only 2 people in our house, we don't go through bread that fast, so before it gets moldy, I just throw it in the freezer. You can see I have some partial loaves of bread here. I have some biscuits, some garlic bread, and even the butts of the bag. Who likes eating butts? I also have some hot dog buns, and even some leftover toast. This is the perfect recipe to use up all those butt bags and make your own delicious, seasoned breadcrumbs that are way better than the ones at the store that I think taste like cardboard. So I'll get this mess cleaned up, and let's get started. The first thing that you're going to want to do is go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Next, you want to grab yourself a food processor. If you don't have a big one like this, before I got this one, I always use this mini chopper, and it worked just fine. You just had to do multiple loads. Next, you just want to grab your bread scraps and break them into chunks. Now I've had these in the freezer. If they're too rock hard, you definitely don't want to put them in your food processor. So I've had these out for about 10 to 15 minutes. And as you can see, they're breaking up pretty nicely. Now you just want to put your lid on your food processor. Make sure it's locked. And we're just going to pulse this until it's a fine crumb. Just like that. Now if you do happen to get some big chunks in here, just remove them and throw them in your next batch. Now you just want to remove your breadcrumbs here. And I'm going to dump them in this measuring cup. And I'm going to keep doing that until I get 8 cups of breadcrumbs. Right now, just with that load, I'm at about 4. Now I probably have enough bread here to do 2 batches of this. But like I said, I'm running low on garlic powder and Italian seasoning. So I'll have to put it back in the freezer for another day. So now you just want to fill it back up. Now unfortunately, I haven't found a good use for these bread bags. So I'll just throw them away. But if any of you know any good uses for these, let me know down in the comments below. Now just put your lid on and pulse it till it's a fine crumb. Alright guys, so now I have my 8 cups of breadcrumbs here. And this recipe is going to make 9 cups total of breadcrumbs when we're done. And I'll go ahead and leave the recipe in the description box down below. So to our 8 cups of breadcrumbs here, I'm going to go ahead and add 2.5 tablespoons of garlic powder. I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of dried parsley flakes, 3 tablespoons of the Italian seasoning, 2 teaspoons of salt, and finally 1 cup of the grated Parmesan cheese. Now with this spatula here, I'm just going to mix it up till it's well combined. You could also put this in a gallon-sized baggie and shake it up if you want it to be a little bit easier. You really want to get down to the bottom to make sure all that breadcrumb is evenly incorporated. Next, you just want to grab two 10 by 15-inch baking sheets here, and I assure you these are clean. They're just well used. And you want to evenly distribute your breadcrumb mixture on both pans and spread it out flat. Now you just want to throw these into your 350-degree preheated oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. About halfway through, I'm going to go ahead and stir these all the way around. And you just want it to start to brown on the very edges here, and you'll also be able to smell it. Sometimes it takes up to 15 minutes. Alright guys, you can see that my breadcrumbs here are done. They're nice and golden brown. Now because I had two pans here, it did take about 15 minutes. So every 5 minutes, I went ahead and I stirred up the breadcrumbs and I rotated the pans. So I put the bottom one on the top and the top one on the bottom. Now I wish we had smell-o-vision because these smell great. Now I'm just going to let these cool down on the pan. They will brown just a little bit more. When they're completely cool, I'll bag them up into a gallon-sized freezer bag, take all the air out, and throw it in the freezer. I've had these last for a few months. Now I make a pretty mean homemade mac and cheese, and this makes the perfect topping for that. You could also use these to bread fish, chicken, pork chops, or I even like to put it in my meatloaf. These are a million times better than that cardboard crap you get in the stores. And with 9 cups of breadcrumbs, I can get plenty of meals out of these. I hope you give this video a try. If you like my videos and want to see more of my videos, go down and hit the big red subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up. If you have a question about this video or any of my other videos, or would just like to leave a suggestion for a future upcoming video, leave me a comment. Feel free to share this video across your social medias. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.